Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be coloring in a few mermaids from Mermaids by My Favorite Things. And I just wanted to show you the new Triblend markers. I'll be using these 3 blends for their tops. And then I'll show you each side of the marker that I'll be using. I did a video, so my video before this covers a full review of the Spectrum Noir Triblend markers, and I just wanted to show you some basic coloring in images, or how I would use them when I'm coloring in just random images like mermaids or something. So in this one, I did go back over again with PL4, so the darkest purple, to give it more of a contrast. And then on this top, I'm going to be using the magenta blend. And I'm not a professional when it comes to picking where the shading should be, so I'm just kind of shading where I think it would look good. And those 3 blended out pretty good. And then I'm going to use the coral blend on this top. So there's a dark, a mid, and a light on each of these. Again, I recommend watching my last video about the full review of these. But I really like them. I think they're really good for card makers. These are the 3 blends I'm going to use on their mermaid bottoms. What are those called? It's not a fin. The end is the fin. What is a mermaid bottom called? The knot legs? I don't know. You tell me down below. I think they're really good for card makers for who do not have any alcohol markers. This would be a great set. And there's a link to purchase the whole set in my last video. I'm not affiliated with that link. I just wanted to find you the easiest way to purchase all of the Triblend markers. There are 48 of them. I do cover everything in the review though, so I would watch that if you're interested in these. I think they're good for people who unfortunately may have purchased the entire Spectrum Noir marker set and have found not many blend well together, because these markers have been reformulated and the colors are maybe 99% different, because they redid them in the form of these markers. So I'm in that camp as well. I do have a lot of Copics as well. I just can't stop buying markers. And so I ended up with all the Spectrum Noir set, but I just had to have these 2, but I'm very happy with them. So I may be gifting some of my Spectrums to my aunt-in-law, but she went ahead and purchased this whole set of Triblends as well. And I'm very excited for her because she was also having some issues with her original Spectrums, finding nothing to blend, and just getting very frustrated and not using them at all, which made me sad. So I wanted to make sure that she had something that worked. So I recommended these to her as a, much better option when it comes to cost than Copics. And it just does the work for you. A lot of these are really great blends. Only a few of the markers are kind of close, so you would just go back over with the darker one in your shaded areas. But they're really great for what they are. And then this 3rd mermaid, we're going to use the True Blue blend. I like the way this one turns out. I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she's meant to be sitting on a rock or something. She looks like she's paralyzed. It's a little strange. But maybe she's supposed to be interacting with something else in the stamp set that I didn't look at. This True Blue, especially since if you watch my last video, you can see what I did was I swatched out these. I colored in bunnies to compare them. So I did the blend of these 3, like I am here on a bunny. I did the same with the original markers of the same name. So TB4, TB2, TB1, I think is the set. And you can see how bad the originals are and how they don't blend. So that's what I did in that video, so that helps. This blonde hair blend that I chose, the CT, I believe it's the citrus yellow, is a little close. The gradient between the 3 colors isn't kind of far enough off. So I do end up going back over some of her hair with the darkest on this one to emphasize that. I wish the light was a little bit lighter, and I wish the dark was a little bit darker, and the mid-tone could stay the same. So I just added some more on top just to get kind of a gradient there. And then this one, let's see. No, I decided that this one was going to be Ariel with the purple top and the red hair. So I wanted to make an Ariel. How they recommend coloring, I describe this in the review video as well. And I also show you an example of how I color, like I am here with dark first, then the mid-tone, then the light. They recommend you color the entire image in with the light color. So in this situation, I would have colored her hair in fully with the lightest, then gone in with my darkest and the mid-tone, and then gone over the whole thing again with the light. I just don't like coloring that way. But that is why the lightest color is the longest barrel on these, because the way they instruct you to color involves obviously using more of the lightest color if you're going to cover the entire image in it and go over it again. So there's that. But I'm fine with having the longer barrel and maybe not using... I mean, I do use more of the light, just not as much as they would expect. I only had so many options for like hair colors, so I wanted to pick 3 different ones. So this one's going to have orange hair. They all turn out really cute. But this orange combo is so much better than the original OR3 2-in-1. And you can see that in my bunny examples in my last video as well. This hair is really fun to color. I'm not really good at coloring in hair with like highlights and stuff like that. There are people who are much better at making it look so realistic. But I at least do like the dark, the mid, and the light. And I like how this one turned out. And I think I missed a little piece of her hair, but I catch it later when I'm coloring in her face or her star. So I'm going to be using 3 different Triblend markers for the skin tone. I'm going to do fair skin since I want this to be Ariel. So I'll use the fair skin blend on this one. Another thing I cover in the review video is that they actually changed the name, but not the initials of, I think, 3 or 4 of the original sets in the new one. So the old initials were FS, but it was like flesh. So then they changed it to fair skin, which makes more sense. And then the like antique green turned into alpine green. Dull pink, they changed completely into purples, and I'll call it dusty purple. So it's still DP. So there's that. And then I'm just going to use a couple colors on the bright pink blend to color in each of their stars in their hair. Just the 2 and the 1. And then for the orange hair, we're going to be using the tan blend. And that's when I realized I forgot to color in that little piece of hair. And this one turned out really nice as well. I could have blended out the lines along her jawline do stand out in the end, but I looked at it a few times towards the end and I was okay with it. I could have blended it out a little bit more with the lightest color though, so it wasn't such a harsh line. But I was fine with how it came out. So I'm just going along the line of like her clothes or her bottom half or where the sun might be shining maybe on her arm. I just kind of go by feel. So here I could have blended out the lines a little bit more. But I liked how it looked enough, but maybe like on the right side, could have blended out the line on her jawline. So she's all done. Then I'm going to use a dark skin tone, the earth brown tones, but the darker one. So it's the one that comes in the orange box. There's a lighter earth brown blend, which is like the lower numbers. And then there's a darker earth brown blend, which would be higher numbers. So that's generally what you get. The 2 boxes are the way I bought it, but I have a link in my last video that show a better way to purchase the set. And you also save money. The way I did it was way more expensive than it should have been. So in this one, when I did the darkest color, I didn't go over her eye that's on the right. It's her left eye, but it's the one that's on the right. Because I wasn't sure if it was going to make it kind of disappear because the darkest color was a little dark. So I just kind of went around her eye there and with the second shade as well. And then I went over everything with the lightest and it actually worked out just fine. So I'm still able to see the features on her face. And she's a dark-skinned blonde, and I love it for a mermaid. It's adorable. So we have our 3 little mermaids here. Ariel is definitely in the middle there. And that's, I think I show them to you each again. That's some of the Triblends. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.